So, today's book is The Millionaire Fastlane, and this book is honestly I didn't expect to like this book that much. Like, I've heard good things about it. I've heard people that have suggested it just online in general. Like, I can't remember where I've seen it, but I've seen it around enough to be like, okay, like let me pick this book up. And one of my goals of this channel is to just basically go through all of the most popular self improvement, business, mindset books, and really pick out the best ones and then put that forward. And I'm here to tell you, like, this is one of the best ones because this book isn't like some gimmicky marketing thing. It's not like, this is the strategy that got me to be a millionaire. If you replicate every step, you'll beat this. Like, no, this book is basically like your uncle that has done it and, can break down the steps and break down why this is the path that you should follow. And he's telling you about how he basically went out and became an entrepreneur. And it's, I don't know if that's what the author intended for it to be like, but that's what it came off to me as. Like, we all have that, that black sheep in the family that's done their own thing, and that's what this comes off to me as, because this book is kind of against every single piece of advice that you've heard in your entire life that, oh, work for 40 years, 401k, Roth IRA, traditional IRA, like all of these things are the safest investments, and all you have to do is work for 40 years and then you get a few years at the end, do what you want with your time. But this book, it really dispels that myth, because it says, like, the people that save their money in a Roth IRA, the people that save their money in a 401k, like, one, there's the restrictions where you can only put a certain percentage of your income in, your company only matches a certain percentage. And at the same time, like, the people that are putting out this information that, oh, save 10% of your income, oh, 401k, oh, you'll have the amount of funds you need to do what you want with your time. Like, those people aren't telling you about inflation. Those people aren't telling you about, hey, what happens if the market goes down 40%, which it does every so often? Like, what are you going to do then when your entire retirement savings got cut in half? Like, how are you going to live? How are you going to sustain yourself? And he basically says that the traditional financial institutions aren't protecting your money as good as you think you are, or they think you think they are. But at the same time, like, people see a business as such a risk, but if you have a successful business, if you really pour your heart into it, like, you're the one earning your own bread. You're the one that has responsibility of your own life, and that level of responsibility and that level of risk is something that will drive you to great, great heights. And this book is just tremendous because it first off goes and dispels, like, all of the bad spending habits that most of us have because of the consumerist society. Then it goes and breaks down the traditional career path of 40 years in office, 401k, this, that, retirement. And then he goes into entrepreneurship. And then he goes into things to keep in mind to have a successful business. And there's a bunch of different frameworks he includes. I'm definitely going to go over them in different videos. So this is not the video for that. Like, stay tuned if you want the in-depth breakdowns of his main suggestions. Like, he has a few acronyms that I think are very effective, but again, that's another video. But I think this book is a very valuable asset for anybody that is disillusioned by what society is telling them. Like, I don't want to work in an office. I don't want to work for 40 years. I don't want to have to go into the office when I'm 60 years old, sit through 2 hours of traffic, sit through meetings all day, and then have to start my work and then work 60, 70 hours just because, I'm at a higher level now and I have more responsibilities. And with these more responsibilities, I get paid a little bit more, but I'm still working more hours. My quality of life is worse. And it's just like, all these contributing factors just it doesn't lend to me wanting to do that. It doesn't lend to me wanting to be sat behind a desk my entire life instead of, going out and conquering the world for myself. And that's what I see in myself more. I see in myself more like, I want to do my own thing. I want to make my own way. I'd rather have a business that I make 50K with a year than, making 500 grand a year working for somebody else. And that's just how I'm wired. That's just how I'm built. But this book is so valuable because it's just a down-to-earth perspective. Like, it doesn't use fancy terms. It doesn't use business terms. It doesn't use anything that a third grader couldn't read. And that's why it hits home so well, because it's just a guy saying what he thinks, telling you what he did, and why you should do the same thing because it's given him a great life. And if that sounds interesting to you, I'll leave a link in the description to this book. Must read if you're an entrepreneur. Must read if you want to start your own business because, man, this book is very, very interesting, very intricate, and pretty much on every single page you can take a life lesson away from. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and click the link in the description. Everyone that clicks that link, it helps out the channel so much. So thank you in advance. And if you want to stick around on the channel, it'd be much appreciated. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for making it this far.